All right, Karina, thank you. Welcome back, Congressman Cloud.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Hey, you have a new House Speaker.
Yes.
And so now how much momentum is there in the Congress, do you feel, to try and avoid another one of these government shutdowns?
Yeah, exactly. We're up against a November 17th deadline. Part of the momentum and how we got to where we are is the fact that our goal has been to get back to doing what we should be doing. Instead of a big, huge omnibus bill that we get every Christmas, let's pass the 12 appropriation bills that are supposed to fund the government. Let's do it the right way. Now, we're running up to a timeline right now and a deadline to get that done. We're working to do that. We passed Propes bill last week. We have more coming to the calendar this week, and we'll keep pushing that through as much as we can. We could get to the point where we need a little more time to get that done, and if so, we'll look at some sort of stopgap measure and hopefully attach border security or something to that that really needs to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. That's kind of the lay of the land at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So. Funding. President Biden wants aid to Israel bundled with aid to Ukraine. How do you feel about that kind of bundling situation, a combination?
Bundling it is a non-starter when it comes to the House. And one of the big issues we fought for in January in reworking our rules package was specifically to get single issue bills. You know, in the past we've had the farm bill married with aid to foreign countries, you know, and you're like, these are not issues that should be in the same boat. Israel's different than the Ukraine, and so for us to look at those issues separately is important. So this Thursday we'll be voting on a package to support Israel to give them some aid that's needed. And one of the big things that's different is we're going to pay for it. We're going to find money and prioritize, as opposed to just continuing to lay this, to spend money we don't know where it's coming from. We're going to find a pay for. And in the past, even when Congress has said there's going to be a pay for, a lot of it's been budget gimmicks, and they'll put it into the 9th and 10th year. We're going to find first year pay fors. We're going to take it out of what was going to be the expansion of the IRS, and so that you can see how this speaker is going to be working different. We're done with the fuzzy math of DC, and we're going to get back to real sound budgeting.
How do you feel about more funding at this point to Ukraine?
The big issue with Ukraine is no one knows what's happening. So we've spent $100 billion already, and Ukraine was known there were some corruption issues there leading into this. Now, that doesn't make what Putin did right, but it does mean that we need some accountability going forward. And right now we don't have any sort of accountability, and we don't have a clear mission. We don't know what the goal is. And so before we keep spending more money, we need to have those things squared away. We need to know that you know, I've talked to boots on the ground who are concerned that some of the weapons that we're sending over are turning up on the black market. That should be of a concern. So we need to make sure that any sort of aid we goes to a stated purpose, and that we're sending aid that's going to accomplish a mission that's very clear. And we're still waiting on that from the White House.
Right. You have said that the Biden administration should be held accountable for the problems at the Texas border with Mexico. Now, how should the administration, and you also mentioned Secretary Mayorkas as well, how should the administration be held accountable for what is happening at the border?
Well, for me, you know, I've been for impeaching Mayorkas. I've been out there for quite some time. He's lied to Congress a number of times. He has completely abdicated his role. And not only is he not supporting border security, like we send funds for the purpose of border securing, he's actually aligning our government's priorities with that of the cartel, and turned our border security apparatus into a human trafficking organization. And the cartels are profiting to the tune of $1 billion a month. That does not help migrants. That does not help these developing countries in Central and South America. That does not help the United States, which this massive security risk that we have open at the southern border, where right now, you know, I got pictures today of what's going on at the border. It's more military-aged young men showing up at the border, and it's not only the people that we know that are coming across. It's the encounters we have at the border. Then there's the known unknowns, so to speak. We know these people are crossing the border, but we're not catching them. But then there's the people we don't even know that are coming across, and that's the real concern. So we already know there's been a number of people on the terrorist watch list that we know have tried to cross the border. What about those that we don't know about, that's a real concern. And so we've got to secure this border.
And the military-age people, do you know which country they're from?
They've come from different regions across the country or across the world, not our hemisphere, I'll say.
And that's very concerning with Israel at war.
It is
right?
very concerning with Israel, and you know, we've seen people come from Russia. We've seen people come from other Middle Eastern countries and Asian countries, and there's been 140, 160 countries present at our southern border. So this idea that this is some sort of organic movement of people, and I'm sure there's some small sliver of element of that, but that's not what is driving this huge migration issue. It's coordinated, it's driven by cartel traffic, it's destabilizing to our country. It should not be tolerated.
All right. Thank you, Congressman Cloud, for coming by and taking our questions today.
Sure, anytime.
All right. Karina, back to you.